The second live semi-final for Britain's Got Talent Series 18 was on Saturday night, and let me tell you, it was a jam-packed episode as 8 more acts competed for a spot in the final, one via the golden buzzer and the other from the public vote. It was an outstanding episode with so many acts improving, and not only that, but we had quite a few shocking eliminations this episode, especially one that really shocked me as well, as I thought this act was absolutely fantastic. But anyways, I think we should get into this week's recap of Britain's Got Talent Series 18, so let's get straight into the video. So, folks, as you guys know by now, Saturday night was the the second week of the semi-finals. As I, for context, they are doing it weekly now, which I think is pretty cool. I really like their idea as well. But honestly, it was an absolutely outstanding episode as well. I thought so many acts improved here. It was a great episode overall. And honestly, by the time the results came around, I was literally thinking to myself, we're going to lose someone really good. And we did lose some really good acts as well. So it was very tough. A very tough lineup as well, if I'm honest. So, yeah, it was overall, it was still a brilliant episode as well. I really enjoyed it. And, and also, and we have our two finalists now, which we'll recap as well. But also, America's Got Talent is indeed back in a few weeks' time, and actually 3 weeks from now, at the time of recording the video, it'll be coming back, and I cannot wait for season 20. Season 20, it's crazy to think. That's it's just mad. I'm thinking that we've got 20 it's made to 20 seasons. It's completely crazy. So I'll be doing my weekly rankings, and also I'll be doing my recaps like I've been doing for BGT. I'll be doing my weekly recaps as well for that. So stay tuned for that. As I've been considering to do like a weekly recap like we normally do for BGT and the Masked Singer. So I'll definitely be doing that, and we'll go from there. And my rankings will be as well out there as well. Hopefully, they don't get hammered, because I know BGT this year has been quite picky for the content, as you know. Because when I did my first BGT ranking for the episode this year, it didn't at first it didn't do anything to it. It just did copyright, it didn't partially block it, but it actually partially blocked it, which I found was quite odd. But so I just thought, okay, maybe it's just a little mishap. But then I started noticing that's why I did the opacity with the photos fading into the background. All of that. But hey, it was still it's still going strong though. I'm keeping very hopeful that for America's Got Talent, it doesn't quite do that. I don't think it will. It probably won't, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. For AGT this year, it's probably because I know with American Idol there's been a few rankings out there, and that's been okay. So with AGT, I'm pretty sure that'll be handy dandy. Hopefully there's no mess ups. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, back to the Britain's Got Talent. Let's just go through to this week's recap, because let me tell you, it was a very intense episode with some shocking eliminations, which we'll talk about a bit later on. So let's get into the episode, starting off with Lil M's, the kid dance group, who were basically the kids who dressed up as the Minions, and in their audition they did their dance routine, and they basically dressed up Simon as Gru, who is the villain in the Minions, which I thought was very cool and pretty funny as well. But this semi-final performance I thought was a massive step up as well from the auditions. So they performed a dance routine to "We Like to Party," "Celebrate," "Peanut Butter Jelly," and then there was a remix of the Imperial March, which is from Star Wars, and they did YMCA to finish off. And at one point they were blasting Simon with a cannon which had ribbons in it, and basically he was covered in ribbons, which was pretty funny. And basically I agree with all the comments that the judges said here, with Amanda saying that that their energy was, and their choreography, the music choices were brilliant. And also Bruno mentioned that they got Galactic tonight and the Force was with them, which I think coming from your Star Wars, because I think they did the Star Wars remix there. But I honestly thought this was a great opening to the show. I thought they really improved. I thought they leveled up their game. It was great. It was great fun, and seeing kids as well doing dancing is just so wonderful. I thought all of them were very talented. They were having the time of their lives, and and even like I mentioned, seeing them with the the canon with Simon. I thought that was very funny, and just their personalities are just really great. So overall, this was a really solid start to the show. I really enjoyed it. Well, I had a pretty idea they weren't going through. It was still a really solid episode. No, sorry, it was a solid start to the show for them. I thought they really did step up again. Next up, we had John Pierce, who was the singer, kind of like the operatic singer. Not necessarily he did opera, but in his audition, basically, he did "Creep" by Radiohead, being like a very like operatic style, um, and he absolutely blew me away in the auditions. Like, it felt like he really gave an impact in that performance. But this performance around was also very good as well. He did "Wild Horses" by Susan Boyle. I didn't necessarily know the song at first, but I googled it, and it's actually it was originally done by the Rolling Stones, which I didn't even know about. But I thought overall this was a really good performance. Like, and I do feel like at the start he was I could tell he was nervous. Like in his voice was visibly shaky. I think I sensed the audition as well. Like in his audition, he was quite nervous. His voice was very kind of like nervous. Like his singing voice was quite shaky when he did it in the auditions. When he started singing, you could tell his voice was quite on edge. So that's why Simon kind of told him to redo it. I mean, it was only the beginning of the song, anyways. And I don't blame him, because being in front of like thousands of people performing like that, it's got to be proper nerve wracking as well. But basically Alicia mentioned that the beginning was a bit like slow horses, but once he got into it, he basically got in his flow and he was soaring. And Simon mentioned while it started off slow in like the audition, which is definitely a fair point, he suddenly went into overdrive, and I completely agree with the judges were saying, because in the beginning I was definitely feeling the nerves like he was in the audition, but towards the middle and the end, I thought he really delivered powerfully. It was a great it was a great performance as well. I really happy that he performed well. I thought his voice was amazing. There were some bits I wasn't too keen on, like I mentioned at the beginning, where he seemed very nervous. I could tell the nerves were there, but I think overall, this was a very solid performance. I would say it was overall it was a pretty level up from the auditions, even though I couldn't get over the fact he was definitely audibly nervous in his singing. He was incredibly nervous. I think that might have gone the better for him at the beginning, but still, I thought it was still a fantastic performance overall. I thought he did great. I thought it was a brilliant, brilliant performance. And next up, we had magician from Canada, Alexandra Borghio. I can never pronounce her first name. She basically was the one who had the tape over her mouth, and she basically used the lasers you know, and the cards as well. Quite a lot of information to talk about in her audition, which I won't get into right now. But her semi-final performance I thought was a massive step up as well. And so basically she took a photo with the judges, and with her on her phone, and she had an empty box on Amanda's phone, which she then got Ant Deck on the chairs here, where she basically put tape over Ant's mouth, and she then just put a fencing helmet over Deck, which I actually I didn't really think. I actually didn't realize it was a fencing helmet. I thought it was a beekeeper's hat. When you have like beekeepers and have those like hats. I thought it was one of them, but I realized, oh wait, it is a fencing mask, because I did fencing once and it was pretty cool. And then he asked Ant to choose a basically, he put over Deck's head before tasking Ant to choose a card, which he chose the Three of Hearts, and then disposing it back into the deck. She then tossed the deck up in the air, and she used a fencing sword to catch his actual card, which was very very good. And then she seemingly kissed the card once before placing it on the palm of his hand, in the palm of Ant's head, before removing Deck's helmet, only to there's 3 more markings on his face, and I thought that was pretty funny as well. And then from her lipstick, and then to the head of the match of the card, then she removed the tape over his mouth, and then basically, it basically revealed the word Amanda's phone, and then it ended off with the box that she had earlier, which had the Three of Hearts, and it basically then the box was full of the three of hearts, and I thought that was a brilliant trick as well. And basically, Alicia mentioned that the way that she used the audience and everyone, and she brought us on the journey. And Simon, I completely agree with what Simon said here about her being in Vegas, and I totally agree with Simon what he said here because she's the type of person I could totally see having her own show in Vegas. She's got so much charismatic, she's got so much like stage presence to her. I think is amazing, and she's got like this confidence about her. This aura about her. I think is just mesmerizing. I thought this was a brilliant act. I thought she really stepped up her game from the audition. As well, I liked the auditions where she cut the tape over her mouth, so it was like a silent, like magic routine. But she involved, the tape, but she used it with Anton Deck. So I thought that was a really good act as well. And while I knew she wasn't going to go through, I still thought she had a fighting chance as well because this really was a great step up from the auditions. I thought she was fantastic. And I just thought this was a brilliant performance. And next up, if I must have clicked the wrong button there. I did. So next up, we had Ollie Pearson, Amanda's Golden Buzzer, who was the 11-year-old guitarist, who blew me away in the auditions where he did his medley of Jump, AC/DC, and Queen. And he actually got the Golden Buzzer from Simon as well, which we'll talk about in just a sec. So he performed Thunderstruck by AC/DC, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, and Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, which are all fantastic tunes in itself. And literally, while it was panned, the camera was panned far away, Simon literally pressed the golden buzzer, and I didn't even see him do it. The moment I literally heard the music playing, I was like, oh, wait, Simon pressed the golden buzzer. And honestly, I cannot complain him pressing it again because this young man is just an absolute star. Like, he is just phenomenal. Like, Simon mentioned that he was so small and talented and charismatic, and he actually had 15 million views on YouTube, which is pretty crazy. And she also, Amanda mentioned he'd be playing in the stadiums in no time. And honestly, I cannot complain that he's in the final because not only he's one of the most viral videos this year with about 5 million views at the moment of his audition. Which honestly, I'm kind of kicking myself. I didn't predict him to be in the final in my early picks and predictions video. If I can go back in time, I would have definitely put him in there because this young man is just absolutely phenomenal. Just his stage presence is amazing. The way he plays the guitar, just everything about him is just. I honestly think this young man just could be a global sensation. And I think, just like Amanda said in the auditions, we're looking at a star. Like, I think a star has been born on BGT. He really is just an absolute amazing guitarist. He's just so amazing. He's got so much presence about him. I honestly would not be surprised if he actually was one. I genuinely would not be surprised if he actually won the whole thing. Like, I know my pick right now is the Blackout, and I'm sticking by that. But I could definitely see him being a dark horse in the final. I do think he's just so good. I could go on forever how good he is. He really is just phenomenal. So he's through to the final, and I cannot complain with that within the slightest because he really is just amazing. Got my laptop in, but he's just absolutely fantastic. So he's straight through to the final, and we'll be seeing him in a few weeks' time, which is fantastic. And then we had Yannick Hosser, the magician from Germany, where in the audition he did his routine to spice up your life, kind of the magic routine, kind of with the other members with the boxes. And I have to say, going into this week's episode, I wasn't too convinced how well he would do because I had to think he might get buzz, and I think he would be a bit of a downgrade. But oh my goodness, let me tell you, he really, really improved this week. I thought this was a fantastic routine. So he did a magic routine to The Boy Does Nothing, which is by the beautiful Alicia Dixon. I actually love that song as well. So the fact he did a routine to that song is absolutely awesome. And he made several other people appear on stage, and he danced along with them. He then placed himself in a box before seemingly swapping places with somebody outside the box. And then he did some dance, a bit of dancing. He did all the good stuff, and he really actually blew me away. I actually was surprised he didn't get at least the top three, if I'm honest. Yeah, so Amanda mentioned that it was like a mini show in itself, and it was extraordinary, and someone thought he was fantastic. And I totally agree with what the judge was saying because his audition was very entertaining, very just kind of kind of out there. So I was thinking to myself when he was on the line, I was like, okay, he's gonna have no chance. I don't think he's gonna do very well. But honestly, I felt like I was watching something in Las Vegas. Like he could have his own show in Vegas. I really do mean that. And I also mean this as well. I actually think he could have been a chance to be in the final. I actually feel like he could have been a finalist. Because I thought this act was so good. Like it was such a great act. He just leveled up, and I could have definitely seen him in the final. I think any other week he could have been a potential finalist. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic. As well. So he really did blow me away this time around. And honestly, I was going to say he could go on AGT, but he was actually on AGT as well a few years ago. So, I mean, he was on BGT as here. He didn't get to the final, but I would not have been upset if he actually did get through because he really did improve as well. He really leveled up his game, which was just fantastic. And I thought he was just amazing. I think he's definitely one of those contestants this year that really grew on me and just really, I was not expecting him to do well. But he really was fantastic as well this week. I thought he was just amazing and definitely could have made the final any other year, I think. So next up we had Will Burns, who was Anton Dick's Golden Buzzer, the impressionist from Leeds, and I absolutely loved his audition, where he did the impressions of David Attenborough, Peter Dixon, Craig Cash, David Attenborough, Gary Barlow, Marcus Bentley, which got him the Golden Buzzer, deservingly so as well, in my opinion. So in the semi-final, he did a range of impressions to Peter Dixon, Paddy McGuinness, Ian Sterling from Love Island. He did Billy Connolly, Simon Grinzel, I don't know who that was, Rob Brydon. And he did a bit of karaoke as impersonating Ruth Jones to Crazy in Love by Beyonce. And he did the Alan Carr impression because him and Amanda Holden actually worked together. So he did an impression of that. And he did basically for Anton Deck, he basically did a little routine to Let's Get Ready to Rumble, which was basically a little song they made back in the day, which I thought was pretty cute. And I will say, I completely agree what the judge was saying. Amanda saying it was seamless and he absolutely nailed it. And all of them I completely agree with. I thought he was fantastic as well. Like I will say that I was a huge fan of him, like kind of saying I think with an impressionist you also want to see those impressionists who are not going to tell you what they're going to do to make it makes it better in my opinion. But I still thought he was really good as well. He definitely, I loved the range of and some of the impressions he did again, like the Peter Dixon one. Was that the only one he did? I think so. And even the new impressions as well, like the Brian Connolly, the Rob Brydon one was really good as well. I was definitely really good. The Ruth Jones was also very good. The Alan Carr was definitely there as well. Maybe the Alan Carr may need a bit more work. I still thought it was pretty good though. And I mean, the overall act was very good. So yeah, it was. I thought he really did. Well, I guess I have seen some people say maybe he wasn't as strong as audition, but I still thought it was a very good performance as well overall. I definitely think he could have been definitely. I just think he was great as well, and especially like he's the type of person I could see having his own show in maybe like a few years' time. He's just so talented, and you can see how much it meant to him as well, especially with him watching the show throughout his whole life. And yeah, I thought he was just fantastic. I thought he was really good as well. Just a great routine as well, especially for the comedy this year. The comedy is such a hard thing to do. You need to get the audience within the first few seconds, and he did that in abundance. So he was fantastic as well. Now we go on to my favourite act of the night, which was the Cheerleading Mans from Japan, who was the cheerleading acrobatic group. And they gave one of my favourite auditions this year. I even said they're the type of I can see going really potentially all the way. And, I thought they were fantastic because in last time they did the James Bond theme, which and To Live and Let Die, which was amazing. They blew me away in the auditions, and in the semi-finals they did their routine, which basically incorporated the formation of human towers. Then they did like the tossing members in the air, and they did flips to Puppet by the Black Eyed Peas and Don't Stop the Party by Pitbull. And just these guys just blew me away once again. Just it's crazy to think that they are just office people. Uh, they're just normal people working offices, and they do this routine. It's just crazy to think. And let me tell you, the reaction they got was absolutely insane. Like people were going crazy over them. Like it was like and even Simon was like, was blown away. And even the audience were chanting for the golden buzzer, and someone was like, "Well, I don't have another one left." But honestly, while they didn't get the golden buzzer, and I would have given them that. I think they deserved a golden buzzer. They were absolutely just sensational. Just they are the type of act I could see touring around the world. The whole routine was just amazing with where they're doing the flips, like what one after another, the synchronization, the backflips, and the just everything. The whole routine was just phenomenal. Like I honestly wish that these guys can go on tour maybe in a few years' time. Maybe they can come over to AGT maybe and compete. I would love to see that and the fact that we get to see an act of this on the show on BGT is just amazing. Like they were just I mentioned they were one of my favorite acts this year, and I'm so happy that they competed basically this year. I think they were just they were just outstanding, like always. And then we had the final act of the night, which was Stacey Leadbetter, who was KSI's golden buzzer after her performance of Snow Patrol's Run from Yorkshire and works in a supermarket. And I mean, her audition was definitely one of the most memorable this year. It was currently with 4.4 million views, I believe, the time recording the video. And her audition was fantastic. And her getting the golden buzzer was amazing for KSI, and his first ever golden buzzer as well. Then the audience were chanting her name in the auditions. It just shows how much the audience fell in love with her. In the semi-final, she performed "Anyone" by Demi Lovato, and I'm a huge Demi Lovato fan, but I wasn't. I didn't recognize the song, but I still thought she absolutely blew me away with this performance. And Amanda mentioned that she nailed it, and she didn't know where she finds the courage. And Alicia mentioned, she picked a very difficult song to sing. And it's true because Demi Lovato has got a huge powerhouse voice and definitely one of the best singers of this generation, I have to say, Demi Lovato. But this performance blew me away. Like, her voice was once again just mesmerized. And I honestly hope that she can, release albums after the show, as she's just absolutely just amazing. Her voice is amazing. She really leveled up her game, and she just seems so humble and genuine to be there. And just you can tell how much it means to her that she's doing this for her family, for her daughter, because she mentioned she has a daughter. And I've seen some of her videos online, and she is just so talented. So yeah, I'm just so happy she's been given this opportunity to perform. I'm just so happy that she did this. She's been doing the show this year. She's just one in a million. So I absolutely loved this performance. Then we go on to the results for the public vote. So the acts that didn't go through in reverse order were John Pierce, Yannick Jose, which I was kind of surprised about, actually. I thought he did fantastic. The Little M's and Alexandra, meaning the top three were Will, Stacey, and Shirley Mans. And I remember watching the results here, literally hiding behind the pillows, being like, I was literally kind of like, who is going to go home? Who's going to go home? And we had a very shocking elimination here, as I don't think anyone was expecting this elimination. But Shirley Mans got third place and were basically eliminated from the competition. They finished in third place, and I was honestly shocked by this, as I thought they were absolutely outstanding, and the reaction they got was insane as well. It seemed like the judges thought they would go through as well, and yeah, I was just absolutely shocked they didn't go through, because I just thought they were just spectacular. And you can tell, and then the audience started booing, and I was like, well, it didn't seem they were happy anyways. because like, you could tell like the audience seemed to absolutely love them, and I absolutely loved them as well. So to see them go home was absolutely gutting as well. I was gutted to see them go, as I would have loved to have seen them in the final. I thought they were just such an amazing act. So to see them unfortunately not make it through was absolutely just gutting. I was gutted about that, but hey, we carry on. Then we go on to the public vote winner between Will Burns and Stacey Leadbetter. And if I'm honest with you, I was kind of unsure who'd go through. I mean, I had a pretty good guess on who I knew would go through based on the popularity, but like in my head it was like Will Burns has got a shot as well. But in the end, it was Stacey Leadbetter who went through to the final, and it was definitely a deserving one as well. She definitely deserved to go through. So I can't argue with that. She really was fantastic. She deserved to go through. I think a majority of the acts this week deserved to go through, and to see some of the acts go, like Will had to go, John had to go, Alexandra, Yannick, Cheerly Mads. Like we lost so many good acts this week, which is absolutely heartbreaking because like acts like Will and Cheerly Mans definitely could have been in the final if they were on a different lineup. But it was just so competitive. It was such a competitive episode. I generally could not call who would go through. But yeah, that was that. And so we have Stacey now, who won the public vote, and deservedly so. I thought she was fantastic. She deserved to win the public vote, and I just can't wait to see what she's got in the final. As she's definitely one of the favourites to go all the way, and I'd say she's definitely, I'd say maybe top three, maybe. I think right now my top three is definitely Vinny McKee and the Blackouts are definitely my top three, part of my top three so far. But I still thought Stacey was absolutely just amazing. So, I mean, deserving results as well. I can't complain about overall. But I will say about the golden buzzer, I kind of wish they had the golden buzzer so they do it as after all 8 acts perform. So, like, before they announce the public vote, let's say like Simon, they ask him who he could put through to the final, and then maybe he would have done it because I think he would have done for Cheerly Mans, as he even mentioned. I haven't got a golden buzzer, I haven't got another one left, so I can't do it. But like, I mean, the audience were rooting for them hard, so yeah, I wish they did it like that, so it would give a chance for all the acts to perform, and then one to get a golden buzzer. Because if you get one, you know they wouldn't get it, and it would also depend on the running order as well. So yeah, which is gutting, but that's just the way I think about it. But overall, it was a fantastic episode, and all the acts deserved to go through in one way or another, basically. So there you have it. That is semi-final number 2 for Britain's Got Talent Series 18. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you thought about this episode. Some shock eliminations, right? Honestly, we had some very shock eliminations. Like we lost John, we lost Alexandra, we lost Yannick. I mean, Cheerly Mounds was definitely the one I was not expecting, because I thought for sure they'd be in the final. So hopefully they have the chance to be a wild card, as I would love to see them come back and compete, as they really are so talented. But yeah, I hope I honestly hope we get at least 2 wild cards this year, as I think the talent this year, especially in the semi-final, is just insane. So yeah, I really hope to see at least 2 wild cards compete. That'd be great. But so far we have our finalists. We have the Blackouts, Vinny McKee, Ollie Pearson, and Stacey Leadbetter. 4 golden buzzers at the minute. And I'm not against it really, but I'm hoping to have some more variety. Maybe see some acts like Ping Pong Pang, Joseph Charm, Harry and Lewis, Man Ho Han. Maybe Made in Vietnam, possibly. Some acts like that, maybe. And also hear our voice, the post office choir. I would love to see them as well. Like anything about it. Harry Lewis, Ping Pong Pang, Man Ho Han, Made in Vietnam. Okay. So I know who I want to see in the remaining episodes, but it's going to really depend on who's on each week actually. But let me know your thoughts below on the results. Do you think this was the right results? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But that's it for this week's recap. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. With post notification turned on, I would really appreciate that. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. And of course, I will see you guys next time.